So I'm using these 4 HTML files for my project: index.html, interest.html, projects, then skills. So this is the index.html, interest.html, projects.html, and skills.html. So in this home page I'm using an image, and in interest and hobbies I'm using one unordered list and one ordered list, and in projects there's a table, and in skills there's some more unordered list. So I'm using this one SCSS file for all the HTML files, and you can take a look here that I've used multiple CSS properties: position, bottom, height, width, color, background, and for all the customization. Then there's this element class selector, child selector, attribute selector, this is pseudo element selector, and this is pseudo class selector. So I've also used this ID class here for heading and skills, and I've used this custom classes. I created these custom classes for the UI improvement info. Then there's this also media query for the introduction part, this introduction part. So right now the size of this text is 30px. So if I reduce the width, if the width is less than 600px, then the font size changes to 15px. See, this is 15px, and this is 30px. So from the Bootstrap 4, I'm using this Navbar classes for the Navbar, and there are these column classes that I'm using for the layout. So you can find these in many of my HTML files, in most of the HTML files. So okay, in this SCSS file I'm used these 4 SCSS variables. Then there's this nesting, and also inheritance, this inheritance. So I've also created this readme file for the introduction part, explaining each of the HTML files and about SCSS file. Thank you.